Burr.
Burr. It's Bill Burr.
Bill.
Bill Burr, the
comedian guy.
comedian. At to Birte.
Burr. It's chilly in here.
Not dwarves, just these Burr hobbit. You're a Burr, Jack.
Burr. Burr. Supposed to be.
No. Burr.
Burr. Burr.
It didn't work. It's okay. It's awesome. Hey there, Nomads of Lore. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Jonathan.
And together we are Mead and Mischief, your home away from no home. In this video, we are going to be talking about The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 7, The Believer. Inexplicably, The Believer. So this is going to be a slightly different tone of a video. We have been overwhelmingly positive about The Mandalorian thus far, Season 2. We've both really liked every episode, even the more fillery episode, the second one of this season. We both really enjoyed a lot of things about it. Even this particular episode, we didn't love, and we're hoping to not get too much backlash. Hear us out.
Mildly.
Hear us out, and remember this is our opinion, and remember that we really love the show, and we're not necessarily hating on any people in particular. There's a lot that didn't work for us, so we're going to end up being a lot more negative in this particular video than we normally are. We tend to be, as years from now, whenever we have 50 bazillion followers and subscribers and whatever, we're liable to be known as being too positive with things. I think we're in the minority in this one. We didn't love this episode. We're gonna unpack some of the things that we didn't like and kind of hash out some of them. And honestly, the more we talk about it and the more we think about it, the less we like this episode, to be truthful. So we're going to start, though, and we may do the Oreo method that I've been taught in education, where you sandwich the bad with some good on the ends, maybe.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
So we're gonna each maybe cap this with a couple of good things from this episode. You wanna jump in with the thing you liked?
So the one thing I did like about this episode is the whole idea that Dave Filoni stated in a recent interview that he did, talking about why George Lucas and how George Lucas came about the story, and the fact that the story is all about family. So this episode's idea and the theme behind it was family. And so I liked that fact.
More important than creed or faith,
more important than
danger.
Anything. That's right. And so I enjoyed that aspect of it. That the idea was family. Yeah, and it went back to the roots of Star Wars. Yep.
So now that that's out of the way, because that was clear, and it was hammered home from beginning to the end of the episode. That's what it was all about. Which is a good thing, and it's important for Star Wars. But so now, jumping into the negative things, the first negative thing is we didn't need that. We didn't need this whole episode. We've been building. This whole season has been built, this in particular, I mean, the whole show, but especially the season has been building that very idea. And so we didn't need this whole episode that was slammed into us that oh yeah, your mask is, take your mask off.
There was no doubt in my mind before this episode that Mando would have dropped everything, including his helmet, his creed, his everything save the baby. Yeah. To save Grogu. Everything. There's no doubt, and so you're right. It was not needed, but okay, let's get into. Okay, so it's not needed, but why was it not good? Even though it was not needed.
So I kind of called it, and we discussed it back before this episode happened. That the whole point of this, because there was discussion between us, and I've heard other people talking about it on YouTube and blogs and things, that. Why do we need Bill Burr's character? Why do we need to go get him? Why, even before this episode even aired, why him? And the only in-universe explanation is, well, he used to be Imperial, and so he knows things, right? Our claim, very much, and even more so after watching this episode, is that had nothing to do with why they went to go get him. The entire reason that they went to go get him is because he's Bill frickin' Burr, and that's it, because people like Bill Burr. In this show, now neither one of us have seen Bill Burr's stand-up comedy. Admittedly, I probably will check it out at some point. I bet Jonathan will too. We'll get curious and go check it out. And maybe he's a great comedian. Maybe I've seen some other people talking about how he's a great guy. That may be true. All of that may be true. I've never seen him act in anything other than this either. I think he's done a few other little projects and things, or maybe even big projects. I don't know. Ignorant talking here. Sorry, but he may be a great actor. I don't know. In this episode in particular, and I thought so in the Prisoner was the last episode he was in. I thought so even then, but in this episode especially, we both found him to be extremely annoying. That's what, Jonathan, when we were sitting there watching the whole riding in the truck scene, Jonathan had we do these virtually. So, in my ears, I can hear in Jonathan's tone that he was very serious, that he was just very irritated with him at that point. It was just very annoying.
Well, there was just being questions just thrown, at that point, you're like, why is he asking him all these questions? This is really dumb. And he's sitting there, and Mando's annoyed at him. He's just sitting there, not even paying attention to him, really. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, this guy's just jabbing just to jab. Mm-hmm. And who cares? I don't want to watch 10 minutes of this 2 million, I don't even know how many millions of dollars they spent on these episodes. 10 minutes of it should not have been him yammering away. It wasn't 10 minutes, but you get what I'm saying.
Right.
It just felt very pointless. Now, by the end of the episode, the whole entire reason they were having all of this dialogue was because of the mask thing. Mm-hmm. But anyway,
so the next thing that was dumb was the stupid chase scene with the aliens. The aliens were dumb. Like, the way they were portrayed was really annoying and super cartoony in this otherwise very serious show. Yep. Jonathan did another positive thing Jonathan pointed out while we were watching, and I pretty much agree. The speeders they were riding was a cool kind of design.
More tribal.
Yeah,
low end,
I kind of got Mad Max vibes a little bit. Kind of, and that's I can agree with that. But the way the dumb on a rewatch, because I did rewatch this episode. I said I was going to, and I did. It probably won't be the last time I watch it. Do Mandalorian rewatches at some point, and I'll include this one. I didn't hate it so bad that I'll never watch it again. But the very last scene is really goofy when they're all clicking the thermal detonators, and then the next guy, and then they're just freeze, and what in the world was their plan? And
they were like 5 feet away from him, and they could have all just lobbed him, and everything would have blown to.
And then on top of that, I guess this is nitpicky, and it's kind of a filmmaking thing, but so then they're almost there, and they're gonna die because thermal bombing is coming to get them. And then the TIE fighters show up. So if they've got a couple
and this whole time you're like, okay, so maybe this is a new thing, these tribal guys attacking them. Then you get in and you're like, okay, from what I'm gathering, this is the first time anybody's made it.
Right. That day.
Or at least that day. Yeah. And so you're
like, a problem, clearly.
So you're like, why isn't there TIE fighters just running up and down that whole line?
Exactly, the whole time. Because I've been watching. We can put a iCard or in the description. I've been watching a lot of Screen Rant's pitch meeting, and which if you haven't checked it out, it's hilarious. And so to borrow one of his many repeated phrases, they did that so the episode could happen.
That's true. It's true.
And
have you ever seen I already forgot the name of it. I believe it's Crystal Skulls. Indiana Jones.
Oh yeah.
Crystal Skulls or something like that.
And the Crystal Skull. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's got Shia LaBeouf, and that scene the whole time I was watching the scene with these tribal guys with they were trying to fight him. All I could see was Shia LaBeouf holding
Swinging
on
from the vines.
to vines, swinging in this terrible graphics. And I know the graphics weren't terrible in that scene, but it just seemed so cheesy.
It was very cartoony in the way it was shot. Very much so.
I was very disappointed in that scene for sure.
So that wasn't very fun.
Nope.
Well, and before that, the scene that was really eye rolly because it was like it was just so obvious and heavy handed was no, I can't go. They're gonna recognize me. Oh no, I can't go either. They're gonna recognize. Oh, I can't go. They're gonna recognize me. But Bill Burr's character actually worked with the ISB, so why is he there? And yeah, we get it. Mando's gonna have to go. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Whenever that TikTok video is going, it's like, oh, okay, really? He's going to have to go in his own show. We're going to be peaking our audio today. So that wasn't fun.
We go inside and all these stormtroopers. I thought there was one part I did like. It was very short.
A whole part.
A whole part. I mean, there was a couple of things, but there was the very short scene where they're coming in on the tank thing, and all of them are clapping, and it gives you for the first time in Star Wars film history. Now I may be wrong, but it gives you like almost like you feel like sad, like bad for these stormtroopers that they're on the wrong side, but they're real people too,
right?
Thing. And it just kind of gave that side of things for just an instant.
Yeah,
really
it was
that.
kind of interesting. And I don't know about Bill Burr's acting chops, and I do not believe that this is the best example or like an amazing example of amazing acting. However, one thing I do think he's quite talented at, which Pedro Pascal hasn't gotten the opportunity to use very often, is he does have a good range of expressions, and his expressions as he's watching the stormtrooper was kind of interesting in that scene you're talking about. So that was fun.
So then they get inside and you find out the whole plot of how they're going to get the information.
And the whole point of the episode is he has a face.
Yeah. And you think, okay, so we're in this extremely distant galaxy with all this technology that we've got, and we've got a database where all our ships are at, and the only thing stopping you from getting access to that information is whether you have a face or not.
Not an approved face, not a retina scan,
and Shawn said it or a little bit earlier, and I agree. I thought they were going to do something where they're going to knock some guy over the head and shove his face in it. That makes sense. Like, okay, he's a higher up security officer. We got to show his face to get access.
The classic video game.
Yeah.
Punch him in there or whatever. But
it was to show a face, what was the point of that? Just
most
to stop
contrived.
Droids? It was specifically to keep R2-D2 from getting access to where. Right. I mean, that's the only thing that makes sense.
Yeah, but that's not the point of it at all. It was just the most contrived, pull it out of your butt or out of a hat, that thing to get. Oh no, he's got to show his face. He's got to break his creed and whatever. And I know we've been working on him. Bo-Katan started it, right? Yep. Of the whole, oh no, there is a way. Well, yeah,
we knew it was coming,
but this has nothing to do with him like learning.
It was like they push
This is not the way.
instead of changing his values and changing his mind and showing him
building that character growth.
Yeah, instead of showing him why he didn't need to be wearing it and why his views up to this point had been flawed and why who he was involved with was a bad group or whatever, why he didn't need to be listening to them. Instead of showing him that and showing that growth, they just like forced it. It was just like, oh, because you need access to this information, you got to take your mask off.
Yeah. And it's because of his love for Grogu, and right, which we said that at the very beginning.
Exactly.
I mean, and that's,
we already knew that.
And that was,
you can tell we're both very, very, very frustrated with this episode, and we're trying to be nice. We really are. Well, because we do love the show. Yeah. Both of us do.
And I don't hate Bill Burr.
And we don't want to get a bunch of flack from you beautiful people out on the internet. We know that's going to happen, but it's a sad episode in my opinion. It's a sad excuse for an episode.
Yeah. Well, and we've got these wonderful characters, and I'm sure they're going to get amazing screen time in the next episode, which is what we're about to talk about. But we've got these amazing characters that we've got Boba Fett, Tamura Morrison, probably mispronouncing his name, but whatever. And we've got Fennec Shan in there, Ming-Na Wen. We've got these amazing characters, and they even brought Cara Dune back, which I did not expect at all, and I'm still kind of curious to see what they do with it. Probably nothing. Probably she's just going to be in it without any repercussions.
Her off again, and she's not even in the last episode.
Well, maybe.
Be surprised.
So they've got all these awesome characters, which again, I'm sure they're going to shine in the last episode, and that's going to be and this. So they're kind of saving it for then, but they just sideline him. Boba Fett most of all, which I guess is not surprising. I mean, he so stole the show last episode.
He did.
And Mando might as well not have even been in there, and I would have enjoyed the episode just as much. And so I get that.
And maybe that's why.
But
partially.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last good thing, is there anything else terrible horrible, no good, very bad that we want to mention?
I think that's pretty much it. But the last good thing was...
So the last good thing that we want to mention...
It was the only thing we could really think of last week that we liked from the episode.
Was the big mine thermal detonator scene was amazing with the super cool sound and the no sound and the it's
kind of a looking thing.
That was awesome.
Yeah,
super cool. And and we we should actually, there is one more thing that happens after that that was a cool scene.
Yeah,
and that's Mando's I'm gonna come get you, and basically repeating Gideon's words back to him, which was cool. I even said when I was watching, oh, that's cool. It was also really stupid.
It's not like Mando at all, in my opinion. There's so many times where Mando,
but he was mad,
even though he's a brute force, just charge in there and whatever. There's so many times where he's smart enough to know, hey, I got to be kind of stealthy.
Right.
He usually gets caught and has to blow his way out. Mm-hmm. But he usually is kind of stealthy with things. And just telling...
and strategically, it was
it's
ridiculous.
Yeah, it's like, dumb. Oh, hey, big bad guy that has... all these units at your disposal. I'm coming for you.
Yeah.
Oh, now I can get ready for you coming.
Well, it's like you said earlier, and it's more like a cartoony bad guy. Let me have a monologue of how I'm going to come and destroy you and eat your soul, and whatever. But it was a cool scene, and
it was a cool scene.
It was cool.
It didn't make sense. So
also was dumb.
Like a lot of things in this episode. All right, so let's take a little bitty break, a little sidestep away from all the negativity and talk about predictions for the last episode. Mm-hmm. All right, so our fast and loose prediction for the last episode is it's going to be an extremely large, big, all-out brawl.
Because
it's got to be at this point, right? Between Mando and Moff Gideon and whoever else on each side. So the question comes down to, on that episode, does Baby Yoda, not Yoda, does Grogu get saved in this episode or not? So what do we think about that?
Well, I mean, who knows a little bit? I don't know. Who knows? But our guess is Mean Mischief's idea. I don't know, whatever. Is that they are, in fact, going to rescue Grogu in the end. It's going to happen. We quoted Pitch Meeting earlier, so may as well do it again. And so to quote Screen Rant Pitch Meeting, again, we'll put it in the description. It's going to be super easy, barely an inconvenience, and more or less. I mean, there's not enough bad guys right now. Now, they may introduce some more, which is what we're going to end this video with. So... that's what we think is going to happen. It's going to be an epic showdown battle. Rock'em sock'em robots. Yoda's going to get saved. And
I'm sorry, Grogu.
Grogu.
thing, it's stuck. Baby Yoda. So
But
much
is it
better
Yoda
than
or is it
Grogu.
Yaddle?
Oh gosh, let's get in that one.
Anyway, it's gonna happen. Yay, Mando saved. Next adventure's gonna happen next season. That's what we think is gonna happen. Now, what we're gonna end with though is so don't do that. This
Or
is
how do they make that good?
yeah, how I mean it's too late now. It's already been shot, it's already done in the can, coming
Yeah.
out Friday. But this what we think we have a better idea. What we would love to see. I mean, that's part of Star Wars, right? Part of any fandom of especially ongoing ones of this is how you could do it. And so we don't think, as I said a minute ago, that there are enough bad guys. We have this epic squad, bounty hunter, scum and villainy team of people that is absolutely epic. I mean, Moff Gideon shows up and tries, I mean, even with the Darksaber, tries to kill Boba Fett. He just takes out his Tusken Raider staff and just whap-ash and kills him. I mean, hyperbole is hyperbole, but you get the point. I mean, we have this amazing team right now, especially if Cara Dune comes, because then we've got a couple of snipers, we got a couple of berserkers, just awesome sauce. And especially if some other people's predictions come true and Bo-Katan shows up.
or whoever's supposed to
Right.
be was contacted.
Right.
You know, if a lot of people have been saying that it was going to be a Jedi or somebody good.
Right.
So if we
Right.
add
Luke
another
or Ezra or
a Force user that's good to that
Exactly.
mix, it's like the scales.
game over.
Yeah, the scales have tilted completely. I mean,
it's already
doesn't
pretty
even
bad.
matter.
Even
Yeah.
I mean, the Dark Troopers, Dark Troopers would have to be unbelievably OP, overpowered. And I'm sure they are going to be. I mean, I'm sure they're going to be scary.
Probably
But
going to be played up more than anything else.
right, but so what we would love to see it's a stretch, probably not going to happen. We would love to see one or more really high-end bad guys. So we've teased before. Well, not teased. We don't have anything to tease. We didn't make anything, at least not any of that. We are writing our own things, by the way, which of course reminds me that you should like, comment, and subscribe. If you made it this far and you are not so mad at us by now,
Haven't lost all faith in our objective reviews,
right? Then subscribe, ring
That's
the
right.
bell, give us a like
or dislike. It's okay.
Sure, but if you
Tell
dislike, let us know
tell
why.
us why, please.
Because we'd love to know.
Yeah.
Anyway, we think it would be really cool to see Ezra Bridger have turned to the dark side or teamed up with Grand Admiral Thrawn some way. We talked about him and Moff Gideon, Mace Windu, what is his name? The red guy.
Oh, Darth Maul?
Yeah, Darth Maul. Thank you. That's the Star Wars character.
that one.
That's the droid you were looking for. That's the droid legs you're looking for. Anyway, you know his. Anyway, his leanings and that could be a really cool thing. I don't think that's going to happen. He doesn't think that's going to happen. It would be amazing and super cool.
You guys have been wanting forever, or have talked about a lot of
back when
Star
it
Wars
was-
lovers have been talking about how cool it would be if Rey had turned to the dark side.
Which I hated that idea, by the way. But
I was indifferent, but but why not Grogu
sure.
or
Ezra. Or Ezra.
Either one.
They've been teasing the mess out of Grogu turning dark.
They have been.
It seems like it'd be too early to have that, but
Yeah.
It could be Ezra is dark, goes back, and he captures Grogu and leads him to the dark side. I mean, there could be so many cool things there that would be really interesting. So that would be really cool. Thrawn showing up could be cool. It would be Thrawn is the wrong bad guy for Mando. So that I don't know that I don't think that's gonna happen, and don't think that should happen. Because he needs to be fighting more people than Mando.
Another idea is there's not only just bad Force users out there that could come back. I mean, obviously we've been shown that non-Force users, Mando, Boba Fett, all the female actresses. What is her name? Cara Dune and Finnick.
Yeah.
Yeah. are all non-Force users and awesome. And so somebody like maybe Cad Bane could come back. And
we not officially dead.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
You don't see a body, he's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes even if you see a body fall down a well, he's not dead.
Yeah, it's and that, and he supposed in the, because he dies in the unfinished episode or whatever, and it dies fighting, guess who? Boba Fett. So, and I love Cad Bane, like, a lot. So that could be really, really awesome.
The final prediction or thing that we need to talk about, which is a prediction that Shawn has had for a while, is that this whole thing has to end with a cliffhanger. It's gotta at this point.
Probably.
We've got a season 3 coming, so there's got to be something to tie us over into
or
that
at least a
season 3.
teaser or something.
Yeah. So
Thrawn showing
what do
up,
we think that is?
Well, one thought I have, and that we talked about this evening, is it all goes peachy keen. They get Grogu back, and then the tease at the end is Thrawn shows up and is there, basically. Dun dun dun, Thrawn. Moving on, which is a strong thing. Another possibility is they don't save Grogu for whatever reason, whatever else. Which could be a pretty rough arc, which would actually make this episode that we're technically reviewing right now and predicting off of, it could make it have more weight.
That is for sure.
If Grogu didn't get captured, and he
didn't get
saved
from his capture.
And so if they do that, then I will probably like this episode a little bit better, because Mando has sacrificed his creed. He's pushed to the very limit as far as what he's willing to do, and his own ethics of his own self-worth, whatever, has been stripped away, and then he still doesn't save him, or even worse potentially is Grogu dies or something. I mean, so that I think it'd be more likely that they just don't actually capture him if either one of those things happen. But we'll see. There's any number of possibilities. It could end in not a cliffhanger. I don't know. Who knows?
Maybe. Well, yeah. We hope you guys enjoyed the episode. We already told you to like and comment and subscribe, but please don't hate us for our negative view of this episode.
You can disagree with us.
Yeah, for
absolutely.
Sure.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah. Tell us why it was so good. Why Bill Burr is so good. Please enlighten me. Share with us what he's done. Let me see some other things.
If we're gonna go down a Bill Burr track, where do we start?
That's right.
Yeah,
let's do it. Awesome. Well, you guys have a great evening, day, whenever you're watching this.
Yep.
See you later.
Bye.